For sure, not like Mr. Tom Ford advises. People all over the world are struggling, looking for their signature scent, what represents them and makes them unique. What a pity that a signature scent often ends up to be something that many other people have. And yes, it's true that our hormones are different, so a fragrance reacts in a different way on our skin. But in particular in the world of designer fragrances, well, this hormone thing is impacting a bit less. And for several reasons, I anyway always recommend to go into the world of niche fragrances. I made a video about why I prefer niche fragrances. Check it out. I made a video about what I think regarding signature scents. Check also that one. So how to be unique in the world of fragrances without spending thousands and thousands of euro just to ask a nose to develop a fragrance bespoke, a fragrance only for us. Well, first of all, let me clarify that it's not really needed to be that unique. Okay, so, you don't necessarily need to be a unicorn, but you can be a good running horse, a good Varenne, if you know what I'm talking about. For instance, have you ever considered layering? Or cocktailing, as somebody say? Layering means to use more fragrances at the same time. And this is a proper art. And as you can guess, you don't become an artist in a day. So, better start trying, testing, training, learning right now. Is an art like the whole world of fragrances is, in fact, is science and art in a perfect balance, in a perfect equilibrium. So you might wonder at this point how to do layering. Well, for sure, not like Mr. Tom Ford advises. Sorry, Tom, that's not the way. You can't really spray whatever you want along the day, because in that way you create a new scent, a new fragrance. Well, it's really easy to mess it up. You are a master, you can easily do it in a smart way, but a person who has no clue how to deal with fragrances, well, it's better if doesn't listen to that advice. There are some people that do layering, putting different fragrances on different parts of the body. For instance, they put on the neck one fragrance and on the wrist another one. Well, that's not real layering. Okay, layering, it really means to put one on the other, not mixing in advance, no, to spray first, pay attention, first the strongest one, secondary, the one that is less strong, and 2 fragrances, believe me, are enough. There are some people that feel the need to put 3. Very risky, very, very, very risky. I suggest you 2 fragrances, plus if you want a base, a molecular fragrance. So yes, we can say at the end 3, but fundamentally 2 fragrances. As I mentioned, the strongest one before, and then the weakest among the 2. Be sure that they are not similar, that they don't have the main notes in common. They can have 1 or more notes in common, but not the main ones, and with this I mean that they don't have to be of the same type. So don't put 2 botanics, don't put 2 sweets, otherwise you just create a mix that in most of cases risk to be awful or if you're lucky, smell messy. For instance, I reveal you what I'm doing. These days, when I go out at nights, I put a base, a molecular fragrance. It has simply the role to strengthen and to lengthen what I put afterwards. And I put a quite strong, sweet fragrance. I'm not in love with sweet fragrances, but they work well, and if I layer them, well, they get very pleasant also for my nose. On that, I put a botanic one. Believe me, with warm weather, at night, this mix is amazing. I disclosed this with you completely for free. This is a treasure. Use it wisely. Ciao!